For years, we've been told that milk is the golden ticket to strong bones, especially as we get older. A glass with breakfast, maybe another before bed, and we think we're doing our bones a favor. But what if I told you that for many of us over 60, milk might not be the bone hero we've always believed? In fact, for some, it could be doing the opposite, quietly weakening our bones without us even realizing it. Now, I know that might sound surprising, maybe even a little unsettling. After all, milk has been a trusted part of our diets for decades. But here's the thing. Science has uncovered some truths that aren't making it to the dinner table. And today, I want to share what's really going on so you can make the best choices for your health. We'll start by looking at why milk might not be the bone protector we thought, then explore what actually does keep bones strong after 60. And don't worry, this isn't about cutting out milk entirely if you enjoy it. It's about knowing the facts so you can take control of your bone health in a way that works for you. The milk myth: why it might not work for everyone. After 60. Let's go back a bit. When we were kids, milk was practically a rite of passage. Strong bones, strong teeth, all that. And for many, it did help. But as we age, our bodies change. The way we digest food, absorb nutrients, even the way our bones hold on to minerals, shifts. And that's where the milk story gets more complicated. You see, milk is rich in calcium, which is essential for bones. But here's the catch. Calcium alone isn't enough. Bones need a whole team of nutrients to stay strong. Vitamin D, magnesium, vitamin K2, and more. And if we're just focusing on milk, we might be missing the rest of the squad. But there's something else. After 60, many of us produce less lactase, the enzyme that helps digest milk sugar. That means milk can sit in our gut undigested, causing bloating, discomfort, even inflammation. And here's the real kicker. Chronic inflammation can actually weaken bones over time. So for some, that daily glass of milk might be doing more harm than good. What the research says. Now, I'm not just making this up. Big studies have looked at milk and bone health in older adults, and the results are eye-opening. One long-term study found that in countries where people drink the most milk, hip fracture rates, a key sign of bone weakness, are often higher, not lower. That doesn't mean milk causes fractures, but it does tell us that milk alone isn't the magic shield we once thought. Another study found that after age 60, the body's ability to absorb calcium from milk drops significantly. So even if you're drinking it, you might not be getting as much of the benefit as you think. And if your digestion isn't handling milk well, that calcium might not even make it to your bones at all. Now, does this mean everyone over 60 should ditch milk? Not necessarily. Some people tolerate it just fine. But it does mean we need to think bigger, beyond just milk, to keep our bones truly strong. What actually does strengthen bones after 60? So if milk isn't the one-stop solution, what is? Well, the good news is, nature gives us plenty of bone-building foods that don't come with the same digestive baggage. Leafy greens like kale and spinach, almonds, sardines, even figs. They're all packed with calcium, plus those other key players like magnesium and vitamin K2 that bones crave. And let's not forget movement. Bones are living tissue. They need to be used to stay strong. Weight-bearing exercises, even gentle ones like walking or light resistance training, tell your bones, hey, we still need you. And that signal keeps them rebuilding stronger, day after day. Now, I know this might feel like a lot to take in. Maybe you're thinking, but I've been drinking milk my whole life. What do I do now? Don't worry. Small shifts can make a big difference. And in the next part, we'll dive deeper into the best foods, habits, and even little-known nutrients that can help your bones stay sturdy and resilient for years to come. But for now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you noticed changes in how milk affects you as you've gotten older? Or maybe you found other foods that keep you feeling strong? Drop a comment below. I read every one. And if this resonated with you, hit that like button so others can find this info too. Remember, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to taking care of the body that's carried you this far. So we've talked about why milk might not be the bone-saving superhero we once thought, especially after 60. But here's the good news. Nature has given us so many other ways to keep our bones strong and resilient. And the best part? Many of these options are gentler on our digestion, packed with even more bone-loving nutrients, and let's be honest, can taste absolutely delicious. Today, we're going to explore the foods and habits that truly make a difference for bone health after 60. These aren't just random suggestions, they're backed by science and, even better, by real people who've seen their strength and energy improve by making these simple changes. So, let's get started. The bone-building power of leafy greens. First up, let's talk about leafy greens. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. I've never been a big salad person. But hear me out. Greens like kale, collard greens, and spinach aren't just side dishes. They're bone powerhouses. They're loaded with calcium, yes, but they also contain magnesium and vitamin K. Two nutrients that are absolutely critical for keeping calcium in your bones and out of your arteries. Here's a little trick I love. Sauté your greens with a bit of garlic and olive oil. The fat in the oil helps your body absorb those nutrients better. And let's be honest, everything tastes better with garlic. If chewing tough greens is an issue, try blending them into a smoothie with some almond butter and a banana. You won't even taste the greens, but your bones will thank you. The unsung heroes: nuts, seeds, and tiny fish. Now, let's talk about some unexpected bone boosters. Almonds, for example, are a fantastic source of calcium and magnesium. Just a small handful a day can make a difference. And chia seeds, they're not just for trendy puddings. They're packed with minerals that bones crave. Try sprinkling them on yogurt or oatmeal in the morning. But here's one that might surprise you. Sardines. Yes, those little fish in a can. They're rich in calcium, vitamin D, and omega-3s, all in one tiny package. If you've never tried them, start with sardines packed in olive oil on a cracker with a squeeze of lemon. You might just find a new favorite snack. The magic of movement. Exercise for stronger bones. Now, let's talk about something just as important as food: movement. Our bones are living tissue, and just like muscles, they get stronger when we use them. But here's the key. You don't need to run marathons or lift heavy weights. Gentle, consistent movement is enough to make a big difference. Walking is one of the best things you can do for your bones. Aim for 20-30 minutes a day, even if it's just around your neighborhood or a local park. If you want to take it up a notch, try adding some light resistance exercises. A couple of soup cans can work as makeshift weights for arm lifts, or simply rising up onto your tiptoes a few times a day can strengthen your legs and hips. And here's a pro tip. If you can, exercise outside in the morning sunlight. Not only are you moving, but you're also getting vitamin D, another critical player in bone health. Just 10 to 15 minutes of sun exposure can help your body produce what it needs. The little-known nutrient your bones are craving. Now, let's talk about a nutrient that doesn't get nearly enough attention: vitamin K2. You might not have heard of it, but it's like the traffic director for calcium in your body. It makes sure calcium goes into your bones and teeth instead of settling in your arteries where it doesn't belong. So, where do you find K2? Fermented foods are a great source. Natto, a Japanese fermented soybean dish, is the richest source. But if that's too adventurous for your taste, try aged cheeses or even a high-quality probiotic. Some studies suggest that getting enough K2 could be just as important as calcium for preventing bone loss as we age. Putting it all together. Now, I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. You don't have to change everything overnight. Start with one or two of these suggestions. Maybe add a handful of almonds to your daily routine, or take a short walk after dinner. Small steps add up to big changes over time. And remember, this isn't about perfection. It's about giving your bones the love and support they need to keep you active and independent for years to come. In the next part, we'll dive into some common mistakes people make when trying to strengthen their bones and how to avoid them. But for now, I'd love to hear, which of these tips are you most excited to try? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more tips on living your healthiest, happiest life after 60. After all, age is just a number, but strong bones, that's priceless. You know, after talking about all these wonderful bone-strengthening foods and habits, I realized something important. Sometimes what we don't do is just as important as what we do for our bones. Because even if we're eating all the right foods, some common mistakes could be secretly working against us. Today, we're going to uncover those hidden bone saboteurs, the everyday habits that might be weakening your bones without you even realizing it. And more importantly, we'll talk about simple ways to fix them. Because at this stage of life, our bones deserve all the help they can get, don't you think? The salt trap, how your favorite seasoning could be stealing calcium. Let's start with something that might surprise you, your salt shaker. Now, I'm not saying you need to eat bland food, but here's what's happening. When we consume too much sodium, our bodies actually flush out calcium along with it through our urine. Some studies suggest that for every 12,300 milligrams of sodium, about a teaspoon of salt, we eat, we could lose up to 40 milligrams of calcium. Now here's the good news. You don't need to give up flavor. Try using more herbs and spices instead. Garlic powder, onion powder, rosemary, thyme. These all add wonderful flavor without the sodium overload. And when you do use salt, try sprinkling it on top of food at the table rather than cooking with it. You'll use much less, but still get that salty taste you crave. The protein paradox. Are you getting too much or too little? This next one is tricky because protein is actually important for bone health. But there's a delicate balance, especially as we age. Too little protein, and our bones don't have the building blocks they need. Too much, especially from animal sources, and it can create acidity in the body that may lead to calcium being pulled from bones to neutralize it. The sweet spot? About 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight daily. So for a 150-pound person, that's 68 to 82 grams per day. And try to get a mix of plant and animal proteins. Beans, lentils, fish, eggs, and poultry are all great options. If you're having a meat-heavy meal, balance it with plenty of vegetables to help neutralize that acidity. The overlooked danger of being too sedentary. Here's something I see all too often. People think that if they're eating right, they don't need to worry about exercise. But our bones are living tissue that responds to stress, the good kind of stress that comes from movement. When we're too sedentary, our bones get the message that they don't need to be strong, and they gradually weaken. Now, I'm not talking about running marathons. Simple weight-bearing activities like walking, dancing, or even gardening can make a big difference. The key is consistency. Try this. Set a timer to get up and move for 2-3 minutes every hour during the day. Those little bursts add up, and your bones will thank you for it. The supplement confusion. What really works? Walk down any pharmacy aisle, and you'll see dozens of supplements claiming to support bone health. But here's the truth. Not all supplements are created equal, and some can even be harmful if taken incorrectly. For instance, did you know that taking calcium supplements without vitamin D means your body might not absorb much of that calcium? Or that taking too much calcium at once, more than 500 milligrams, means your body can't use it all? The best approach is to get most of your nutrients from food and use supplements only to fill specific gaps under your doctor's guidance. If you do supplement, look for calcium citrate, easier to absorb as we age, paired with vitamin D, and consider adding magnesium and vitamin K2 for better bone utilization. But always check with your healthcare provider first. They can help you determine what's right for your individual needs. Putting it all together, your bone-healthy lifestyle. Now, I want you to remember this. Strong bones after 60 aren't about any one magic bullet. They're about the sum of all these little choices we make every day. The vegetables we choose, how we season our food, whether we take the stairs or the elevator, it all adds up. Start small. Maybe this week you'll focus on adding one new bone-healthy food to your diet and taking a short walk after dinner. Next week, you might look at your salt intake or talk to your doctor about supplements. Progress, not perfection, is what matters. I want to leave you with this thought. Your bones are the foundation that lets you enjoy life, playing with grandchildren, traveling, gardening, or whatever brings you joy. By taking care of them now, you're investing in your ability to keep doing all those things you love for years to come. If this series has helped you understand your bone health better, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. What changes are you excited to make? And if you found this valuable, please share it with a friend or family member.